Let's be honest, you already know that video games are a distraction. But what you probably don't realize is how deep that distraction goes. Every time you log on, your brain gets a hit of dopamine. It gets the perfect hit of dopamine. You feel progress, achievement, belonging. You're unlocking new levels, new ranks, new skills, but none of that exists outside of the screen. And while you're grinding for virtual rewards, your real life, it's slipping by. Your body's weaker, your social skills fade, your drive to build something and to become someone eventually gets numbed. I'm not saying video games are evil, but the truth is, they're designed to make you feel successful without actually making you successful. And if you don't wake up to that now, you'll wake up one day realizing that the only thing you mastered was escaping your own potential. With me, when I was younger, I was chronically addicted to video games. For all of my childhood, I'd be constantly playing various different types of games, whether it was on the PlayStation or on my phone or on my iPad. I was always playing different types of games and I was always obsessed with growing and developing in like a virtual stimulation. I remember when I'd finished school, I'd finished my last lesson and I would quite literally sprint home as fast as I could so I could play the new season of Fortnite. I remember I used to rush home and take the quickest route home. I used to speed walk and run because I wasn't that healthy. And then after I'd get home, I'd literally start loading up Fortnite and start playing the new season. As Fortnite was loading up, because it would usually take like 3 minutes on the loading screen, I'd grab a bunch of snacks like Doritos, chocolate, Kinder Buenos, anything I had, and I would literally just sit down and get ready to play. As I'd do that and as I'd load up the new season, I'd quickly change out of my school uniform and put on something relaxing. Most of the time that was pajamas because I wouldn't actually leave my PlayStation until it was time to actually pretty much go to bed. I remember I'd start playing for hours and hours, and I remember I'd play solo games, play the Team Rumble or whatever game mode there was, and then eventually at 5 PM, I would always just join a party and end up playing with some of my friends. I'd join a PlayStation party and it would be me and like 3 other people and we'd be doing squads together. I remember we used to play squads for like 2 hours, sometimes getting wins, sometimes losing. The guy that I'm friends with just starts raging on the mic and I'd have all these different things that were going on and I just didn't realize that this was actually blindsiding me. I remember I said I got back from school and we started playing squads at 5. I would literally be playing by myself for 2 hours from like 3 o'clock to about 5 o'clock, just by myself, eating junk food, wasting away. The only part of it which was fun, really realistically, was playing squads with my friends. But even then, I wasn't really close friends with them and the only thing we bonded over was just the same video game we had. I remember after the evening was over, it'd be like 6, 7 PM. I'd basically go down for dinner and get ready for bed after. But I remember like just one day, just feeling really empty. I remember we played a game of squads for like an hour or two. It was quite shorter than usually is. It was usually 2 hours, but it was an hour this time because everyone wasn't really in the mood and everyone was kind of annoyed at each other. And I remember once I was done, I had a shower and I was eating my dinner and I was kind of just playing around with my food with my fork. And I was kind of just like, something felt really empty. Something in my life just felt really, really empty and I no longer enjoyed the thing that I really, really enjoyed doing. I was chronically addicted to Fortnite and I used to play it every day. But this one day, things just felt really, really weird and I just didn't actually enjoy it anymore. That day just changed everything for my life. And that moment kind of set up all the success I have now. The thing is, right, I can talk about why video games are addictive and why we're all just glued to our phones playing the new season or doing something like that. But we need to understand why men in specific play video games. And we need to look at why that is. The thing is, biologically and evolutionarily, men and boys are pretty much primed to seeking status and leveling up. We're primed from day one, from when we're 5 years old climbing trees, to seek status and to level up and grow and develop. It's quite literally in our blood to do that, and it's quite literally within our hormones to try and grow and develop ourselves. And what's happened now is instead of doing this in real life, instead of leveling up in like a super useful thing like the gym or socializing or anything useful, what most guys do now is because they can't do that and they're too afraid to, they do it superficially. They do it through video games, they do it through bullshit that doesn't mean anything, and it's all virtual. And the worst part about it is that these video games are pretty much engineered and mechanically designed to make you addicted. So not only do you think that, it's not that you're just addicted, it's just that you're losing your potential and you can't stop it. The addiction you feel is horrible and I would hate to have that on anyone. Rewards like gun camos, like for example the gold wrap. I remember when I used to play Call of Duty, the gold wrap or the diamond wrap was always seen as like a status symbol. You've got gun wraps, you've got new rewards. There was always that one kid who, when the new season would drop, he'd come home and already be at tier 50 because he already bought like the what's it called? I'm trying to try and see if I can put a picture up. The 2,800 V-Buck bundle instead of the 950 V-Buck bundle that everyone used to get. He got that and he was ahead of everyone else. And we'd always be annoyed, like, oh, he's already ahead of us. He's already higher, like, level than us. And we'd get annoyed at that, right? All these little things in games that are basically designed to kind of trick your brain into thinking you're leveling up in something that doesn't matter. The thing I hate about this so much is for us guys, for us young men, the thing that pisses me off the most is that video games and playing all these different types of mobile app games and whatever, is it tricks the masculine side of your brain, the goal-striving part of your brain, the part of your brain where it actually wants to level up and grow. It tricks that part of the brain into making you feel like you're actually making progress when you're making zero progress and you're nowhere where you want to actually be. It makes you think that you're making progress when you're not making anything. Also, if what I've said has left a mark with you and you can really resonate with what I've said, make sure you comment lock in down below. Now I've spoken about my story with the video games and what I went through and the struggles that us guys go through and why it's actually a problem. I now want to go into solutions and action steps that actually changes your life and actually makes you a better, more improved version of yourself. This part of the video is the golden part of the video where you're actually going to grow and level up. So make sure you pay attention and make sure you watch till the end of the video. So the number one thing that I did myself personally, which absolutely changed everything, and it's something that I want you to do, is just start to occupy your time with a real life goal that actually moves mountains for you. It needs to be a goal that makes your future self proud. And for me, that was the gym. I remember when I first started training and started lifting weights, I was literally obsessed with training. I was obsessed with increasing the weight on my lifts, getting more reps, getting stronger, getting bigger over time. And naturally, by me having a goal to immediately obsess over, it naturally made me less wanting to play video games. As soon as I started to put more time in the gym, the time that I used to spend playing video games wasn't actually that appealing to me anymore. It's not that I was fighting an addiction for video games, it's that I no longer was interested in playing video games and kind of just wasting my time. It was kind of just like I found a new real life video game of leveling up in real life. I genuinely realized a joy in literally seeing progress in my physique and basically looking amazing. I've gotten stronger, bigger, and I look better than most guys in my gym, and I'm extremely, extremely young compared to all the older guys that are around me. What I'm saying here is that goal that I obsessed over changed my life. And now it's important you find a goal to obsess over too. It could be the gym, it could be anything. The gym's always a great starting point, and I always recommend all young men to start training, and you'll always have time. And the next thing I want to talk about is, it's kind of a bit, it's going to catch you off guard. And it's start to live a life so adventurous to the point where you don't even have time to play video games. Do you remember when we were kids, we used to literally go outside for the whole day, literally playing with sticks, climbing trees, going in different pathways, trying to see different things, seeing like a cat run and being excited. Like these small things, when we were so adventurous as kids and when we just naturally had masculine direction and just excitement, we didn't have time to be playing video games. We didn't have time to be doing random other bullshit. We were literally so immersed in just playing and having fun. What you need to do is build a life so filled with adventurous, spontaneous, new things and things that are going to help you grow and level up and productive things that you quite literally have zero time for video games. With me, my life is so exciting right now. I'm doing so many different things. I'm meeting so many different people to the point where even if I wanted to play video games, I wouldn't have time to. There is not a single part of me that's pulling me towards playing video games and wasting time on a controller or on my phone. Start doing fun things, go out with friends, start going on dates with new girls, right? Start training properly in the gym, find something to obsess over and something fun, like go and socialize with new people, go and cold approach some girls from your gym. Do whatever it takes for you to just make progress and level up. You need to put the controller down, you need to put your phone down, and you need to go and live new experiences. What I've seen time and time again is that so many young men, especially young guys, is that they're bottlenecked by the people around them. All they do is they contain themselves to the people around them, the people in their class, their year group. Why would you do that? The planet is a huge place. The world is a huge place. Your city is a huge place. Why would you constrain yourself just to the people in your class when you could meet so many new people? I remember when I was in year 9, year 10, and year 11, the only people I would constrain myself to is just the people in my year group. If they weren't in my year group and I didn't know them, I wouldn't really go out of my way to talk to people. But now I know so many people and my networking connections are so strong to the point where I don't constrain myself and I really enjoy the social interactions I have. I've been on more dates than ever and I've made super great progress. And the thing is, you have no excuse because I live in one of the smallest towns that in my area, and I've still managed to go and network and speak to loads of different people, and I've gone on dates with quite a few girls as well. Once you're living a life of adventure and spontaneousness, You're going to eventually get to a point where you're going to look at your gaming console, your gaming PC, and you're going to be like, I don't actually need that anymore. You need to sell what you had and move into a new chapter of your life. Sell your old game console, sell your old iPad, sell whatever you had yourself tied to, and just see yourself releasing a part of yourself. Now what I want you to do is I want you to vividly visualize what your life's going to be like over the next few years. I want you to close your eyes and imagine the next 2 years. You're seeing yourself moving away from video games, you're training super hard in the gym, you're meeting so many new people, you're growing and developing in ways that you can't even fathom. You built an aesthetic, strong physique that other men respect and girls find attractive. And you're just growing and developing at such an absurd rate. After 2 years or 3 years, you'll be in the top 1% of all guys there is out there, and everyone will respect you. You look around at all the other guys that you used to know and all the other guys that you used to spend time with, knowing that you made the most progress and you came out on top. Not only have I broke through from video games, but I don't use social media, I don't waste time, and all the people around me can vouch that I'm obsessed with growing and developing myself and learning new things and watching new videos and basically reading books and doing all these other things. I broke free and my life's changed, and I want the exact same for you too. The last time I played video games was in 2021. We're in 2025 now, and I can't thank my younger self enough. I did it, so you can too. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you can like and subscribe. That way you get immediate access to any new piece of content I release. Not only do you get that, but every single video I bring out has unique ideas that no one else on YouTube talks about. I talk about topics that no one else on YouTube seems to talk about because I understand young men and the generation I'm in more than anyone. I really see what guys go through, and I'm aiming to basically change the face of the modern day. As always, there's one last thing I always say before I leave, and it's that always strive for excellence because great things will come your way.